Welcome to JPilates Advanced Mat. We're going to start standing today, so legs can be about hips distance apart. We'll take our arms out to a T, up to the ceiling, contracting abs to tuck pelvis, rolling off of our wall. Hands are going to go all the way down to the mat as we walk out into a high plank position. So we're going to make sure that the heel of the hands are set up directly underneath our shoulders. Our toes are tucked back. Make sure that the heels are behind the balls of the feet so you can walk the feet forward if needed. We're tucking the pelvis. We have a nice straight line from the hips to shoulders. Abs are pulling in and up. We're hugging our glutes in and up. Actively releasing quads. Remember, if you're hyperextending through the back of the knees, soften the knees a touch so that you engage the abs, not your legs. You're actively pressing the heel of the hands into the mat, engaging above the elbows, all the way up to the shoulders, hugging underneath underarms. Abs continue to pull in and up, so pulling in from below the belly button and lifting up to your sternum. We're holding here for 60 seconds, warming up the body. Abs continue to pull in and up, glutes continue to pull in and up. You continue to retract blades back to activate latin serratus muscles. We're counting down now at 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's send our hips back, lifting them up for downward dog. So walking your hands back about a hand's distance towards your body. Good. We're going to bend the left knee, sending the right heel to the floor, just hold. Hips staying nice and square. You're pressing your sternum forward. You're pulling your shoulders to your back, pressing through heel of the hands. Holding here for a couple of breaths, just warming up the back side of the right thigh, the back of the calf, still keeping abs pulling in and up. Let's send opposite heel to the floor. So left heel presses to the floor as you bend the right knee. Hips are nice and square. Once again, pressing through the heel of the hands, engaging above elbows to shoulders. So try to get out of those upper traps and flex underneath the underarms to press sternum forward to get a little more extension in your spine. Last breath here. When ready, walk it back out to your high plank position. Flowing through our side plank. So move your right hand directly underneath sternum. We're going to drop our heels back tandem style, extending that left arm up to the ceiling. Holding here. Remember, if you have wrist issues, you can always come down to your forearm, but you're actively pressing the heel of the hand into the mat to flex underneath the underarm so that you're not putting the body of the weight into the wrist. If you allow the shoulder to hike, or if you bend the elbow, unfortunately you will put body weight into wrist. So you actively need to press down to lift up. You're lifting the hips up by pressing the sides of the feet down. Go ahead and give the right glute a little engagement. Good. Continuing to pull abs in from below the belly button, lifting that connection all the way up the right side, closing ribs in together, holding here. So all of our plank holds today in advanced mat will be 60 seconds. So pulling abs in and up, continue to push down to lift up, holding here. If you need to break at any point, you can always take a rest and hop back in. Counting down now at 5, 4, 3, 2, coming back to the high plank and holding, stabilizing. We're transitioning to our left side. So that left hand sets up underneath sternum, extending right arm up to the ceiling. Good tandem style with the feet, so right foot forward, sides of the feet press down to lift hips up. Holding here, we have that 60-second count hold. So make sure that the top hip is rotating forward, not back, so that you don't end up with compression in the right side of the low back. Remember, engaging above the elbow, engaging tricep, engaging deltoid, flexing underneath left underarm. So activating those stabilizers, and then putting pressure through the palm, through the heel of the hand, extending out through fingertips. Abs pull in and up from below the belly button. We connect into that left side, all the way up to that left underarm. Actively pressing those feet down to engage up the side to get the hips higher, not allowing the hips to collapse to the mat. Counting down now at 5. Left shoulder down, we have 4. Pressing into the left heel of the hand for 3 and 2. Last one. Coming back through center to that high plank, take it back to your downward dog. Walk back a hand's distance and hold. Both heels press to the floor. Dropping the shoulders down, pressing sternum forward, holding here for a few breaths. So getting that nice stretch through the spine, getting that nice stretch through back of the thighs, all the way to heels. And then when ready, we're going to transition into cat-cow. So lowering down into the plank, dropping knees to mat, line the knees up underneath hips. So walk those knees forward just a touch. Good, hands still directly underneath the shoulders. Let's start with the spine stretch first. So gazing at the navel, coming into flexion of the spine. We will sit the hips back about half so that we can open up that lower lumbar, just to get any tension out of the back that we may have created with our side planking or our high planking. So when ready, we will transition to upper back extension. So pressing sternum forward as we retract blades back, neck in line with the spine, holding it here, keeping the abs connected, then using the abdominals to transition back into that flexion, that lower back stretch. So tuck the pubic bone under to sternum, sit the hips back. Good, and then continue to flow on your own. So bringing the hips forward, dropping hip bones to the floor as you extend through spine, dropping shoulder blades back, stretching out the abs after our planks, continuing to warm up the spine. Let's flow through one more of each. So let's tuck the pelvis, sit the hips back, really trying to open up that lower lumbar. We'll open that up a bit more with our next exercise when we come into our bridging. Good. Now bring the shoulders over the wrist, extend the spine. Very nice, holding that extension. Let's come into a neutral spine. We are going to take a thread to the needle stretch. So we're going to extend that left arm all the way forward to the mat. Reach that right arm underneath left underarm, twisting the upper spine. Getting a little rotation through our upper thoracic spine. Keeping the abs connected, continuing to press that left palm into the mat. Continuing to reach that right arm underneath left underarm. So keep that right arm active as well. Holding here, the more you press into the left palm, the more you reach with the right, the deeper twist you're going to create. Keep those abs connected to keep the low back safe. I'll let you decide when it's time to switch. So you'll come back up, reset. Good. Left arm reaches through. Nice. Pressing that right palm down, reaching left arm through. Trying to get the deepest twist in that upper part of your spine, but keep those abs tight to keep the low back safe. Just breathing into that twist, breathing into that stretch. Another breath or two, I'll leave it up to you. Just make sure that you're not taking the rotation too far and experiencing lower back compression or lower back pain. When ready, de-rotate. We're going to sit back, swing our feet around, lying down for bridge. All right, so hands can rest down next to the hips. The feet are going to be about 6 bones distance apart. So we're anchoring the heels into the mat. We're scooping the abs. Let's close the top of the ribs to hips. Curling our pubic bone under, slowly peeling the spine up, bone by bone. Closing top of the ribs to hips, keeping pubic bone tucked to the ceiling. Now pull the spine long to the heels as you retuck the pelvis and print down through the upper, the middle, the lower, reaching the tail long again. So creating that space in between the hips and ribs so that you have the movement to retuck on, the range of motion to retuck on. Peel up, lift. Now pull the spine really long to retuck the pelvis and print and round all of the way back to neutral, creating that space in between hips and ribs, continuing to flow. Just make sure that you tighten up those ribs at the top, not allowing the hips to lift so high that you experience that compression in the lower back, but keep the glutes active throughout. So your range of motion will only be as large as you can maintain that glute engagement. Let's try to keep the right and left glute active together as one. And then really pulling the spine long as you round to create space in between each vertebrae. And then re-scooping, tucking, peeling up, lifting. And then re-tucking, reaching spine long to imprint and round. Let's reach those arms even longer so that the shoulders reach to your waist. Pressing palms lightly. Last 2 full reps. Peel up, lift. Pulling the spine long, creating that space to imprint and round all of the way down. Last rep here. Heels anchor down, abs pull in, ribs tight, peel up, lift and hold. So let's go ahead and hinge down, hovering the glutes off of the mat. Activate the glutes and lift back up. Inhale down. Good. Activate glutes. Close ribs. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. hovering glutes from mat, anchoring both heels equally to activate both glutes and lift, keeping glutes active on the down, pulling abs in, closing ribs to hips to lift. We have 4. Inhale, take it down, activate glutes, exhale, hug, lift. 3. Glutes active, abs contract, ribs tighten at the top. Last 2. Energy reaching forward through the fingertips. Exhale, hug, lift. Last rep here. Inhale down, abs pull in, exhale, hug, lift, holding it at the top. Go ahead and bring the right knee over the hip to Pilates Tabletop. Extend the right leg up to 90 degrees. Keeping your hips square, point your right toes, lower the right leg away to meet the left, flex the heels, scoop the abs, drag the right leg back up. So point the right toes, release the quad, reach the leg out of the hip, flex the heels, scoop the abs, drag the leg back up. Inhale to reach out, keep the pelvis tucked lightly, close ribs to hips. Exhale, flex, hug, lift. Inhale, keeping those hips nice and square. Exhale, good, we have 4. Inhale, lowering away to left side. Exhale, close the ribs to scoop, lift. Last 3, right hip high, abs scoop in, anchor the left heel, activate abs to lift. 2, inhale to reach out, scooping in and up to exhale, hug, lift. Last rep here, inhale to reach out, exhale, lift, hold. Now, round down to the last rib, activate left glute, hug and lift. Inhale down, no external rotation in that right femur bone, so staying neutral. Good, abs scoop in, hug, lift, keeping the pelvis tucked. Remember, you are hugging that left femur bone towards midline. Anchoring left heel as you peel up. Good, trying to find a quiver in the glute and maintain that connection. The ribs tighten, that glute engages to lift. We have 4, abs pull in, exhale, lift. Slow and controlled for 3, ribs pull tight, exhale, lift. Keeping that pelvis tucked lightly, keep shoulders to the back for 2, hug and lift. Last rep here, lift to the top and hold. Bend the right knee, place the right heel back to the mat, tuck pelvis, we're coming down all of the way for a quick little break. Bring the knees in, give yourself a big hug, rocking side to side. Body temperature should be rising at this point. So, heels back down in line with sits bones, here we go. Anchor the heels, scoop the abs, tuck the pelvis, slowly take it back to top. So holding it here, making sure that the hips stay square, making sure that the ribs stay closed. We'll bring opposite knee in, so the left knee bends, extending the left leg up. Good, point left toes, lower the leg away slowly. Now flex the heels, scoop the abs to lift the leg back up. So point, reach the leg long. Flex the heels, scoop the abs, exhale, hug, lift. Inhale, reach out, relaxing the quads, scoop the abs in, pull them up to hug and lift. So as you reach the left leg out, try to pull the abs in, anchoring right heel down, activate right glute, lift left leg up. We have 5. Inhale to reach, exhale to lift. We have 4, top of the ribs close to hips. Keep that pelvis tucked lightly, guys, no compression in the lower back. Inhale down. Abs pull in, exhale, lift. Last rep here. Ribs closing to hips, abs scooping in. Hug, lift, and hold at the top. Heel stays flexed. Inhale, round down. Activate right glute to exhale, hug, lift. Inhale down. Closing ribs to hips, scooping abs in to hug and lift. Lowering with control, scooping in and up to lift with control. Closing ribs to hips, tucking pubic bone lightly to protect the low back. Remember, never lifting up so high that you arch the low back. So just to that nice straight line with a slight tuck of the pelvis. 4 here, so 4, heel heavy, activate that right cheek, put all body weight into right glute. Good, 3, exhale, hug, lift. Abs pull in, anchor the heel, we have 2. Ribs pull tight, abs pull in, last rep here. Lift up, hold at the top, bend the knee, place the heel down to the mat, retucking the pelvis, take it all of the way down. Bring the knees in, give yourself a big hug. We will take a slow set of scissors to stretch out the back of the thighs. So the legs will extend up. Let's pull to that right side and change. So a nice slow set. As you pull the leg in, you're also pressing the leg back out into your hands. The tailbone is heavy, the shoulders are reaching down. Each time you pull the leg in, make sure that you're pushing the leg back out, not using your biceps, but using your core to change the legs, contracting abs. So flex the heels and continue for a deeper stretch. Pull, 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 pull. Shoulders drop, abs contract, pressing the leg back to your hands. Last 2 reps, so 2 to the right, tailbone heavy, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, bend the knees in, grab a hold of the shins, lower chest and head down. Let's place our feet down to the mat. Separate feet about sits bones distance out, hands behind the head, abs pull in. So remember, the elbows hug forward slightly, the shoulders reach to your waist, the heels anchor to the mat to stabilize pelvis, to keep back the thighs active. Now activate your core, use your core strength to exhale, chest curl forward. Good. Inhale, lower back about 3/4 of the way, keeping the ribs tight. Now contract in to lift slowly. So we're going to inhale down, exhale, slowly lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, hug and lift. Good, so hugging in at both sides of the waist, activating below the belly button across the hips, and then activating right below your sternum to lift. Good. Last 4, stabilize pelvis, scoop abs, lift. Good. 3, abs contract, use the breath, exhale up. Continuing to activate those shoulder stabilizers for 2, allowing head to rest back into the hands to load the abdominals. Last rep, bring it up to the top and hold. Use the abs to bring the right knee over the hip, use the abs to bring the left knee over the hip. Keep that chest curl really high. Let's flex our heels. Straighten the legs out to 45 degrees slowly. Exhale, hug and bend in. Remember, the chest curl is more important than the angle of the legs. So only take the legs as low as you can prevent the center of the spine arching and maintaining that really high chest curl. As we flow, you're actively releasing quads, you're actively releasing hip flexors. That exhalation is going to allow you to work deeper. So inhale to stretch out, exhale to collect in. We have 2, inhale out, curl higher, scoop deeper, exhale, hug. Last rep here, inhale, take it out, exhale, bring it in and hold. Now extend the left leg out to 45 degrees. Rotate towards your bent knee. So let's rotate the underarm towards the bent knee, not the elbow. Curl higher through center and change. You can exhale as you twist, inhale, and then exhale. Good. If a natural breath works better for you, whatever feels most comfortable. So using the obliques to twist the spine, using the abs to stabilize the pelvis to get a deeper twist. Good. Activating the obliques of the side that you're rotating towards, so of the bent knee. We have 3. Abs pull in. Take your time. Use your strength. 3. Good. Slow and controlled movements for 2. And 2. Wringing out that waist. Last one to the right. Good. Last one to the left. Bring both knees in. Grab a hold of the shins. We will rock side to side. All right, you guys. So back into tabletop for another prep. So when ready, we're going to lift chest and head up. Bring the right knee over the hip to Pilates Tabletop, the left knee over the hip. Good. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and lower halfway down with the chest. Now lift right back up. Good. Inhale down. Bring the waist in to exhale up. So stabilizing the legs, the knees are directly over the hips. You are pressing inner thighs together to touch to create that awareness and that engagement into inner thighs, which should refer right into the abdominals below the belly button. So hugging waistline in from both sides, exhale up. We have 4. You might have to tuck the pelvis lightly here if you feel an arch in the low back. So being body aware, maintaining your deepest connection for 2. Exhale. Last rep here. Exhale up and hold at the top. We're flexing our heels. We're coming for into a set of double heel taps. So inhale, tap down. Exhale, hug and lift. Good. Remember, the range of motion is only as large as you can stabilize your pelvis. You're hugging thigh bones together to keep that energy through inner thighs and carrying it up to the abdominals below the belly button. Remember, as you hinge down, you want to round your sternum forward to your femur bones. So if you're losing your chest curl, my recommendation would be to shorten the range of motion with the heel taps. Good. We have 3. Inhale down. Abs scoop in. Exhale up. Last 2. Tuck that pelvis lightly. Remember, pelvic stability is key here to keep the back safe and to keep your strongest connection. Last rep here. Exhale up to the top and hold. Tap the left heel to the mat. Dig it into your mat. Now rotate towards your bent knee and hold. So you're anchoring that left heel heavy. You're rounding forward off of the right shoulder blade. You're pulling the abs in from below the belly button. Now slow changes. Remember, the heel tap digs into the mat as you twist. Good. Continuing to flow. Heel tap, curl higher off of that shoulder. We're still trying to twist, thinking about bringing underarm to knee, not elbow to knee. Abs pull in, twist. Dig the heel, rotate deeper. Abs pull in, continuing to flex the spine forward, so round forward. Abs pull in, twist, contract. Good. Contract, rotate. Good. We have 3 here. Abs pulling in, so heel tap down to get a deeper connection below the belly button. Tap, twist. We have 2. Rounding forward, scooping deeper. Abs pull in, twist. And 2. Rotate. Good. We have 1 to the right. Abs pull in, twist the spine, wring out the waist. 1 to the left. Curl higher, scoop deeper, twist. Come through center, lower down, take a little break. We have 1 last set coming up. How are we doing? Good. All right, so when ready, take your time. When you're ready to start back in, scoot the abs in. Let's chest curl forward. Use the abs to bring the right knee over the hip, the left knee over the hip. Good, holding here. So we will prep once again. So lowering down half, lifting back up, exhale. So inhale down, hugging thigh bones together to exhale up. Good, try to activate both sides of the waist equally to lift. Abs pull in, inhale down, exhale, lift. Good, abs pull in, hugging thigh bones together to lift. Last 4, hug and lift. Still continuing to activate underneath those underarms for 3. Abs pulling in, contract, hug, lift. Now last rep here, lift up to the top and hold for scoops. So heel tap down, extend the legs straight out, keep the legs straight, raise the legs to 90 degrees and bend in. We'll do 6 in each direction without a rest. So the pelvis is tucked lightly, you're curling higher, you're contracting to lift. Heel tap down, hug thigh bones together, scoop abs in, slowly hug and lift. Good. Remember, keep those inner thighs pressing together to touch. Continue to keep that chest curl high so that there is 0 arch at the center of the spine. We have 2. Thigh bones hug together. We heel tap down. We scoop in to exhale, hug, lift. Last rep here. Heel tap down, extend legs out, scoop abs in, raise to 90 degrees and hold. Lower the legs away so slowly. Resistance is key. Pointing the toes. At 45, flex the heels. Hug thigh bones together. Hug and lift, extend. Point, lower slowly. Good. Rounding forward, flex the heels, scooping deeper, hug and lift, extend. Sorry, keep messing that up. So point and lower to 45 degrees. At 45 degrees, flex the heels. Then slowly pull back to tabletop. Extend, toes are pointed. Good. Reaching out, rounding forward, scooping deeper, flex the heels. Good. Exhale, hug and lift. Last 2. So 2, reach out, curl higher, scoop deeper. Exhale, hug and bend. Last rep. Point toes, reach out, scoop abs, bend, hug, bring it in, hands to shins. Nice work. Just rocking side to side. All right, you guys, we're gonna find ourselves back into another cat-cow just to stretch the spine out after that and get a little more extension back in after all of that flexion. So you can just flip over onto your mat, reset, We know that the hands go directly underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and I'll let you just flow through at your own time. So tucking, rounding, sitting the hips back. You may want to hold this stretch just for, I don't know, a couple counts or so. But when ready to come into that extension, the extension will feel good at this time to stretch the rectus abdominals back out. So tilt hip bones forward, pull sternum through, rotate blades back. So really feeling that nice stretch right below the sternum and at the waist. Holding that as long as you would like, and then flowing through the flexion. We'll just do 3 of each. So sit the hips back, drop the shoulders down, pressing into the heel of the hands. And then we'll bring the shoulders over the wrist, tilt hip bones forward, extend the spine, rotate blades back, taking that abdominal stretch, taking that spine stretch, putting extension back into the spine, and round, last one of each. So sit the hips back, drop the shoulders, good. Bringing hips forward over the knees. We'll extend and hold this time because that was quite the ab series. So pulling sternum through, rotating blades back, just stretching right below the sternum and at the waistline. Holding here for 3. In and up for 2. In and up for 1. So from here, we're going to transition into our glute work. So we're going to drop down to our forearms. The elbows are right underneath our shoulders. We're going to do our glute kick-ups. So we'll go ahead and lift that right leg back up, or up to the ceiling. The heel is flexed, so make sure that the hips stay square, make sure that the pelvis stays topped. We're going to inhale, lower the femur bone down. Now exhale, hug the glute and lift. So inhale down, only lowering to where you still maintain that glute engagement. Then exhale, same thing on the up. So no arching of the back, keep the pelvis tucked. You should feel the abs pull in as the glute engagement lifts in and up. So timing the 2 together is 1. Let's rotate that right hip down, yeah. Do not allow the weight to dump into the left hip, so you actively have to pull weight back through the center. And then we're actively pressing into the left forearm to help stabilize and keep a deeper connection into the left obliques. We have 3, scoop the abs, lift the leg, abs stay connected for 2, hug and lift. Good, last rep here. Contract, hug, lift. Now lower down half. Activate the glute, lift. Good. Slow, controlled movement is everything. If you cruise through these, unfortunately, you probably will not feel a thing. So you need to tap into your abdominal engagement, your gluteus max, like the center of your glute. You should have a quiver here at this point. We have 3, keeping hips square. Continue to press through that left forearm, you guys, it helps. Abs pull in, pelvis tucks. All right, here we go. Lift and hold at the top. So try to find a quiver in the glute. We're holding here for 10. Tuck pelvis 9. Abs in and up 8, 7, 6, 5. Tucking pelvis 4, 3, 2. Lower down on 1. We'll take a quick child's pose and then we're going to come back up for that same side. So adding on to that right side. So back down to forearms, elbows underneath shoulders. We're going to bring that right heel back up and hold. All right, so now we're crossing that right knee to left knee, and then you're bringing the heel back up. So basically digging deeper into that connection that we've just created. But you should follow at the top when that leg comes back up, that quiver in the glute. So follow your most active range of motion. Keep the abs connected, keep the pelvis tucked at top. Activate the glute, contract, hug, lift. Good, we have 5. Abs pull in, keep the right cheek active, hug and lift. So moving from your strength, right? Not momentum, so taking your time. 3 here, contract the abs, contract the glute, exhale, hug, lift. Last 2, abs pull in, contract, hug, lift. Last rep here. Contract, lift up to the top. Now, lower half, like cross half. Now pulse up, slow. Contract, lift. Find the quiver, hug, lift. Stay within your most active range. Keep the pelvis tucked, yes. Abs pull in, hug and lift. Contract across, hug and lift. We have 5. Relax that left hip flexor, guys. Do not dump weight into that left hip. Press heavier into that left forearm to help stabilize for 3. Hug, lift. 2. contract, lift. Here we go. Last one. Hold it up at the top. Hold it here for 10, 9, 8, tuck, 7, 6, hugging glute in and up for 5, abs in and up, 4, pressing heavier through left forearm, 2, bring it in on 1. Child's pose. Do we get to that quiver zone? Perfect, okay. All right, so time to hit that left side. So right back down to our forearms. Elbows underneath shoulder. So go ahead and bring the left heel up. Okay, so remember, hips square. Let's go ahead, when ready, lower down with control, hug and lift with control. So pressing into your forearms, good, to keep square through shoulders and hips, activating obliques. So contract, hug, lift. Good, keeping the pelvis tucked. Activate the glute, hug and lift. Abs pulling in. Contract, hug, lift. Good. We have 5. Good. 4. And I didn't mention this before, guys, but the setup, always make sure that the stable leg, the supporting leg, the knee is underneath the hip. If you're too far forward or back, you're going to get a little arch in the back. So setup is pretty key. Last rep here. Good. Contract, lift. Good. Now lower half. Contract the abs and glute together as one to lift. So remember, keeping the hips square, not dumping weight over to the right side. So actively pushing back through forearms to help stabilize, then connecting the abs with each rep. Tucking the pelvis under, scooping the abs, contracting in to lift. We have 4, just at that half range. So drop down half, scoop the abs, contract the glute to lift. 3, hug, lift. 2, shoulders drop, abs contract. Now last rep here, lift and hold. So try to bring it to that quiver zone. We're holding here for 8, 7, hugging glute in and up for 6, abs in and up, 5, shoulders down, sternum forward. Yes, good. 3, 2, bring it in on 1. So knee underneath hips, set the hips back, take a quick child's pose to give the low back a break, but also to give that glute a break. When ready, we will reset. So go ahead and bring that left heel back up. Okay, so now cross that left knee over to the right, then squeeze and hug back up. Nice. Take the knee across, scoop the abs, hug and lift. Keep that pelvis tucked though, no arching in the back. Bring your elbows back just a little, Carol. Yeah, good. Knee across, activate the glutes, scoop the abs, hug and lift. Very nice. So following the most active range of motion on the top, remember, not coming so high that you create an arch in the low back. So keep the pelvis tucked lightly to keep the back safe for 4. Shoulders reach down, sternum pulls forward. 3, abs contract, hug and lift. 2, hug and lift. Last rep. Good. Now take it across half and then bring it back up. Yes, follow that shake. That will keep you in the correct range. So contract the abs with the glute. Yes, pressing into the forearms, flexing underneath the underarms, pulling your sternum forward so that you're not over-rounding in that upper back, that upper spine. 5, hug glute, lift. Good. 4, contract abs, lift. 3, abs pull in to lift. 2, shoulders down, abs contract, hug and lift. Last rep here. Bring it up and hold. Hold it here for 10. Bring body weight back over to the left. Good. 7, glute in and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, bring it in on 1. Taking a child's pose. We'll take that child's pose first. And then we're going to flow through a little upper back extension. So when ready, we're going to go ahead and lie prone, so lying down on our stomach. Good. We'll still stick with the prep for this week because we do get a lot of questions about back extension. So remember, we do not want to feel the lower back compressed. You want to feel the upper back engage. So setting up correctly, we'll go ahead and separate out about hips distance. We're going to tuck the pelvis under. Good. Abs pull in, those hands are lined up just right in front of the shoulders. Remember, if this variation is too intense, you can always stack the hands one on top of the other, resting forehead to hands for a little more support. All right, so pressing into the hands, we're going to pull our sternum forward, lifting up about half today. So not extending in full, but you're hugging the elbows into midline. Let's make sure that the upper traps are not flaring, so you do want to reach the shoulders to the waist, and then slowly resist back down. So remember, we're pressing the palms into the mat, we're activating the triceps, we're tucking the pelvis, we're extending through ribs and waist, opening through chest, and lowering back down. Engaging the glutes can help sometimes if needed. So activate the glutes, scoop the abs, press palms heavy, inhale, raise up slowly, exhale, lower back down. So pressing tops of the feet down, let's count 2 more here. So 2, press the palms down, inhale to lift, exhale, lower down. Good, abs pulling in, shoulders reach down. Last rep here, we'll bring it up to your top and hold without lower back compression. Let's hold it here for 3. Pull the sternum forward, reach shoulders down for 2. Resist down on 1. Once again, always countering that extension with flexion, sitting back. Good, taking that child's pose. All right, so when ready, we will flow through sideline leg series. We're back to our right side, so we're gonna line up with the back edge of the mat with our left side. So right side up, you can face that way, girl, so sorry. Good, and we'll flip around so that the right side's up, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there you go, perfect. You guys just make sure, because we've just worked the left side, that right side is up first. I think I cued that wrong. So remember, 2 options depending on your neck. So if you'd rather have the arm long with the head resting at the bicep, that works. Or you can go head into hand. It's whatever feels best for you. So you are lined up at the back edge of the mat. You lift the legs forward, bring them forward to the front corner of the mat and lower them down. We're gonna start pretty basic. So just with a little leg lift. So flex the heel. Let's slowly lift the top leg up, just a little above the hip line, and lower right back down. So contract the abs, contract the oblique. On the right side, the obliques, so pulling that right shoulder down and back, contracting the right glute to hug and lift, relaxing that right quad. Good. Exhale and inhale. So use the exhalation to pull the abs in, to contract the right obliques, to contract the right glute. Good. Keeping that right palm to the mat or fingertips to keep that right shoulder blade on your back. Yeah. And then continue to pull sternum forward so you don't end up, taking space away, but continue to create space, putting space back into the spine. Last 2, abs contract, femur bone lifts, lowering back down. Last rep here. Good, lowering back down. Now lift back up to the top and hold. All right, now we're going to lower down half, activate the glute, lift right back up. Nice. Lower down half, activate the glute, lift back up. So we're not only working the right glute, you're also getting a lot of right oblique. You can even pull abs in and lift them up. Maybe even work pelvic floor here. Pull pelvic floor up as you raise the leg up. Just at that half range for 4. Contract, lift. 3. Contract, lift. 2. Contract, lift. Last rep here, hug and lift. Now lower the leg down to that half range and hold. So for advanced mat, the circles are much larger. So we're going to, I like to internally rotate femur bone and toes down. So we're going to bring the leg forward all the way to the front of the hip. Now swing the leg up, rotate back, and lower down. So forward, we'll go to an 8 count here. Activate side of the glute. Keep that internal rotation. Remember, super stable through spine and pelvis. It's really that femur bone just circling around in your hip socket, but you have to use the core to help lift the leg, resist the leg, and lower. Good. Abs contract, a lot of right obliques here, guys. If you make it, we have 3 here in this direction, so 3. Use the right side of the waist to lift, resist. 2, Lift the leg, rotate back, lower down. Last rep here, forward, up. Keep that internal rotation. Lower down. Now swing the leg forward just to have a little momentum to bring it back on. Keeping that internal, not arching the back on the way back, so just stopping that leg in line with the hip. A lot of abs, a lot of oblique. Activate the side of the glute. That right glute knee. Take it back, lift it up. Bring the leg forward and lower down. We have 5. Super slow controlled movement here, you guys. So really slow on these circles. 4, stabilize spine, stabilize pelvis. Bring the leg forward, lowering down. We have 3. Glute might be quivering. It should be quivering at this point. Mine would be anyway. 2. Good. Abs and obliques. Good. Right glute. Last rep here. Take it back. Bring the leg up. Bring it forward. Lower the leg down and just hold. So hold it here. Take a little break. You can always massage the glute if you need to. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's flow through bicycle today. We'll just do a few different variations. So we'll still stay on the same side. Good. So the top leg is going to lift up. So for bicycle, we're going to kick the leg forward. Good. Bend the knee, kick the heel back, and lengthen the leg behind. So forward with control. Bend, kick the heel back, scoop the abs in, lengthen and reach. Slow and control. Scoop, reach, bring it forward. We'll still keep with the 8 count here. So pull the abs in, contract right obliques. Reach back, kick forward. We have 3. Bringing heel to glute, extending leg long behind, scooping in to bring leg forward for 2. Close the ribs, scoop the abs, reach the leg back without arching the back. Good. Last rep here. Good. Swing the leg back, extend, kick the leg forward and hold. Let's reverse. Take the leg back, bend the knee, bringing heel to glute, kick the knee forward and lengthen long. Abs pull in, so a lot of abdominal here to stabilize the pelvis here, guys. This is not easy, so take it super slow, super controlled. Rotating that right hip forward. That hip should not open. Reaching forward, scooping the abs, stretching it back. Good, getting that nice stretch through the front of the hip and quad. Good, abs pulling in. Lengthening back, stabilize that pelvis, pull the knee forward, extend, lengthen long. Last 2 here. Good, slow and controlled. Rotate that right hip forward, swinging that knee forward, extending long. Last rep, super slow here. Good, reach it back, scoop the abs, bring the knee in. Nice work, lower down. All right, so we'll just flip, still facing the same direction, but just to the other side so that we can get to the left side. All right, guys, so remember, always lining up with the back edge of the mat so that the spine is straight, legs come forward, you lower down. All right, so we'll flex the heel, we'll come into that internal rotation with femur bone, keep the hip closed, activate the glute, lift the leg up. We're at our 10 count now. And lower, remember, only raise the leg as high as you can keep the hip closed. So if you feel the hip opening, the low back will engage at some point, so be very careful. Super slow controlled movement. If you truly follow the glute engagement and the oblique engagement, you'll stay in the correct range of motion. And if you need a little feedback, put your hand to the glute. See if the glute's engaging. We have 3 here, abs and obliques. Contract in, the glute engages, lift. Last 2, reach out, contract, hug and lift. Last rep here. And then bring it back up to like right above the hip, hold. Drop half, activate the glute, lift. Good. Drop half, contract, glute, lift. Relax the quad here, you guys. At this point, you should have a quiver in your glute. So you're lowering, you're contracting, you're putting all of your leg weight into that glute, which is a tiny muscle. So you should be burning out at this point. We have 5, a lot of oblique. Remember, pressing that left palm, stabilizing left shoulder. We have 3, contract, lift. 2. Good. Now last rep here, we'll lower down for a count, setting up for our big circles. So we'll kick forward first. So we're going to kick forward, we're to our 8 count. Keep that internal rotation, activate the glutes, circle back, down and in. So forward with control, super slow here, guys. Maintain that internal rotation. You might have to shorten your range of motion. So abs pulling in, obliques contracting, circling femur bone around. Kicking the leg forward, activating the glutes, circling back. We have 4 slow. Left shoulder down, abs pulling in, left obliques active. Last 3, abs pulling in. Keeping that internal rotation, activate that glute, slow on the down. Last 2, abs pulling in, ribs pulling tight, out of that left upper trap. Good, last rep here. Activate that glute, circle back. Good, bring the leg forward so that we have a little help to circle that leg back, keeping that internal rotation. Remember, the leg will want to swing back of the hip, and the hips tilt forward, meaning arching the back. Do not allow that to happen. So stop the leg before you arch the back. Yeah. So keep the glute and obliques active. You should stay in the correct range of motion if you follow that engagement. So remember, there should be no shifting in the spine as you circle back. Abs and obliques stabilize. Left shoulder reaches down. We have 3 here. So 3, activate the glutes, scoop the abs, hug and lift. Last 2. Abs in, glute active, circle forward, lower down. Last rep here. Abs pulling in, glute active. Very nice. We'll give you a little rest. And then we'll come back up. Yeah, you can always spank the glute. All right, so kick the leg, or I'm sorry, lift the leg up for bicycle. We'll kick the leg forward, bring heel to glute as you reach the leg back. Tuck that pelvis lightly if needed, and kick it forward. Use the abs and obliques to bring heel to glute. Extend. You might have to tuck the pelvis to pull the abs in. Yeah. Abs pulling in to keep that spine nice and stable. Lengthen. Reach. Good. Ribs pull tight. Shoulders stay down. So stabilizers. Super key here. Good. Heel to glute. Lengthen back. Abs pull in. Tuck pelvis lightly if needed. Bringing heel into the glute as you reach back. We have 2 reps here. So 2, abs pulling in, left obliques active, left shoulder down, reaching it back. Last rep here, forward, heel to glute, extend, reach back, kick the leg forward so we have a little help to reverse. So swing it back, bring heel to glute, pull the knee forward, lengthen long. Good. Stretch it out, scoop the abs. Activate back of the thigh and glute. Pull the knee forward, reach it out. Good. Left shoulder down, abs pulling in, ribs pulling tight. Remember, you might have to tuck the pelvis a little bit so that you do not arch the back as you swing that leg back. Continuing to rotate that left hip forward, keeping those ribs super tight by keeping the abs and obliques connected. We have 3 here. So 3, heel to glute. Bring the knee forward, extend, lengthen long. We have 2. Abs pulling in, reaching leg long. Last rep here. Good. Bringing the knee in, resting the leg long. We're going to lie prone once again, coming into swimming for more back extension. So we'll lie on our stomach. Let's go ahead and separate the legs out about hips distance. Carol, I'll have you scoot back just a little bit so that the poles aren't in your way. So go ahead and extend the arms out nice and long, you guys. So remember, same rules apply. Before we get started, make sure that your setup is correct. Legs are apart, hips distance. Go ahead, pull the abs in. Good, lift them up. Arms apart, about outside of the shoulder line. So open those arms out just a touch. All right, now scoop the abs in. We're going to bring the body up and hold. So arms, legs, chest, and head. Now bring the right arm and left leg higher. Keep the arms straight, so extending out through elbows. Make super slow changes. Left arm, right leg, and change. So stable in the spine. Good, try to reach the shoulders down the back. We're activating through the back of the thigh and glute. Remember, you're tucking the pelvis slightly, you're pulling the abs in, you're reaching the shoulders down the back. We have 3. And 3, 2, and 2, keeping the neck in line with the spine. We have 1, and 1. Lift everything up, pull the abs in for 3, 2, lower down, sit back, take a child's pose, sending the hips back, holding here, taking a few deep breaths. All right, you guys, so we are flowing into our arm work. So we're going to come into a high plank position, so you can walk out into a high plank position. All right, so we will add a little flow. So when ready, make sure that the hands are outside of the outside of the shoulder line. We're going to add a push-up here, a very slow push-up. So we're going to bend, shoulders to elbows. Now extend, hold. Move the right hand underneath sternum. We're going to flow into a side plank. So tandem the feet, reach the right arm up. Good. Bring it back to your high plank, moving the right arm over. So back to that forward high plank. Set up for your push-up. That is our flow. We'll push up slowly. Take your time. Move that left hand in. Open up to the right. Good. And then de-rotate back down to the high plank. Good. If you feel, continuing to flow on your own, that you do not need to move the hand to center, you can flow right into that side plank. It's really what feels best for you. I do recommend taking the extra step to put the hand underneath the shoulder. Very slow and controlled with these push-ups. We're going to do 5 per side. Opening up, pressing down to lift, and bringing it back in. Almost there. We have 2 more to each side. Good. Yeah, moving that right hand, coming into that side plank, and then resetting into that high plank. Good. Activate the rear part of the arms here, you guys. Good. Flowing through. Slow and controlled. The slower the better with all movement. With the transition from plank to plank. Very slow, very controlled. We'll push up. Last set of that side plank to each side. Good. Opening up. Good. Coming back in. Very slow. Finishing strong with this last push up. Very nice. Left hand to center. Opening up to that side plank. And then coming back down. Lowering down to your child's pose. Bending the knees, sitting the hips back. We will take a child's pose. Take a few deep breaths here, guys. From here, we are going to reach both arms over to the left. So reach both arms over to the left, getting a little lateral flexion, stretching out those sidewalls after our side planking, after all of that sideline leg work, I guess all of our oblique work, just putting a little more space back into our sides. You can stay as long as you would like. That's up to you. When you get a release and you're ready to switch sides, you can bring it over to the other side. Holding here, just breathing into the side, that whichever side you're on, but left side for Carol. Keeping the abs connected, putting space back into the ribs, off of the hip, underneath the shoulder. All right, so now we're going to come into a high plank and hold. So we're coming into a high plank and hold. This is going to be our last set of push-ups. We're just going to go for a straight set of push-ups. We'll get to 5, see how we feel. If we can make it to 10, we'll get to 10. But coming into that high plank, finishing up strong with our arm work today. So three counts down, 3 counts out. 3 counts up. So let's lower 2, 3, lift 2, 3, slow and control. Make sure that your push-ups are not all chest and pecs. You do want to press the heel of the hands into the mat to activate rear part of the arm, so shoulders and triceps. Abs pull in. We have 2 to get to 5. Shoulders reach down. 1 to get to 5. Let's see if we can get to 8. So abs pull in. Flex underneath the underarms. Drop that left shoulder. Activate rear part of the arm. Shorten the range of motion here, guys, if needed. 1 more to 8. I think we can get to 10 for sure. Abs pull in. Last 2. Shorten that range of motion. Halfway down, right there. Exhale up. Last rep here. Abs pull in. Exhale up. Hold the high plank. Hold it here for 10. Abs pull in. 9. Tucking pelvis. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. End it up with abs. 3. 2. Kneel down. Taking our child's pose. Ooh. Oh yeah. All right. So we will finish up our arm work today. We're nearing the end of the session with some good old-fashioned tricep dips. So at home, you might want to find like a chair, or if you're near a sofa, anything that might be elevated a bit. You still can do these on the mat. It'll look more like this in your range of motion, like a tabletop-ish position. It's fine, but if you could get feet to the floor, you would be much better. So we're gonna set up in a neutral spine, fingertips face forward. A few things, guys. This is not good for the collar. So your shoulders have to stay on the back. So you wanna press down to lift up. Good, remove the glutes. Try to stay neutral rather than tucking and rounding. So a nice long spine. We're going to bend. Do not rotate shoulders forward. Let's stop shoulders right at the elbows, extend. So bend slow, activate both sides equally to extend. So bending without letting the blades lift, pressing into both heel of the hands. Inhale down, exhale up. Already quivering, abs pull in. Exhale up. We have 5. Nice. Hug and lift. 4. Activate right and left side together and lift. 3. Slow and control. Last 2. Abs pull in, hug and lift. Last rep here. Exhale, lift. Now lower half and hold. Little pulses. Slow. 10. 9. Activate right and left side together as 1. 6, abs in, 5, shoulders drop, lats and serratus muscles underneath underarms active, abs pulling in for 4, rotate blades back, 3, 2, come all the way up, have a seat on 1, hold it here. We will take a little twist in between, so just rotating to the left, keep our hips square, knees stay in line with one another. Lift your sternum, rotate blades back, hold, just breathing. And then we'll take it to the other side. Good. If you're on your mat, you can always sit in like a cross-leg position or, bringing one knee over and taking the yoga variation. Just wherever you can get a nice safe twist in your upper spine. And guess what? We'll de-rotate for one last set. All right, so who knew your own body weight could burn your arms out? So the nice thing about all of the arm work, we'll go ahead and start with 10, slow, is it's your own body weight. So if you can stabilize the shoulders and put all of your body weight into your triceps, we're not bulking, we're just toning what you already have. So sculpting what's already there. So lean, long arm muscles. Good. Abs pull in, contract. Activate both sides equally. Abs in, contract. Continue to flow. We have 3. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest. Abs pull in. Last 2. Activating right and left side together. Last one. Now drop down half and hold. Pulse it up. This is it. Stick with me. Contract. Lower half. Lift. Triceps should be quivering and burning. Abs pull in. Activate right and left side for 4, 3, 2. Bring it in on 1. Have a seat. Right back into that spine twist. Good. So keeping hips square, knees stay in line. Pressing into that left thigh with the right hand, lifting sternum. Good. Taking it over to the other side. Pressing left palm into the right thigh. Remember, we're not twisting the lower back, we're twisting the upper back. Good. Dropping those shoulders. And then de-rotate. We'll come to standing. We'll extend our arms straight up to 90 degrees. Good. Drop the chin. We'll roll off of our wall, taking a nice roll down. Let's hold the roll down. So just allowing the spine to traction here. Opening up the back of the thighs, the posterior chain of the body. Allowing the neck to hang, just putting space back into the cervical spine. And then when ready, Keeping body weight forward to the balls of the feet. Let's scoop our abs, tuck the pelvis, restack spine super slowly. Upper, middle, lower. Arms come back out and up. Grab a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Reach up and over to your right. Hold. So anchor the left foot heavy. Yeah, press back through the left hip. Stretch underneath left underarm into left ribs, off the left hip, keeping shoulders and hips squared forward. And then use your abs and obliques to lift up, switch the grip, reach up and over to your left. Good, hips continue to face forward, good. Stretching underneath that right underarm into the ribs, those intercostals, off the right hip. Anchoring right foot to the floor, staying grounded to get a deeper stretch. And then scoop the abs, come back up. We'll circle the arms back. Thank you for joining us.